Hello, class. I'm super excited to be here once again. Today, I would pass you through groupthink. What do you think about this theory? You can share your views and your comments in the comment section below. Well, we'll look at groupthink, the originators of this theory. We would also look at the main tenets of this theory, as well as we'll take an activity to help us better understand and appreciate groupthink as a theory and how it plays in our day-to-day interaction. Are you ready? Before I dive deeper into groupthink, the tenets, and then we take the activity, let's refresh our memories on what theories are. Theories are formulated to help us better understand and explain a given phenomenon. So today we would look at the theory of groupthink, and this theory would help us appreciate decision-making in groups and how people under the sway of groupthink end up making decisions. Let's dive deeper. Let's try and appreciate the image I have portrayed on the screen. For some of us, we are in a group and we are still members of that group because we have closed our ears. Some of us too, we are still members of that group because our eyes are closed. And others would have to keep mute to keep belonging to that group. Let's see what Margaret 1984 said about groups in general. He mentioned that individuals have their unique properties. By this, he means that they have their beliefs, their traditions, their traits, and these things are peculiar to them. But anytime they decide to be a part of a group, they let go of all these their unique traits and they immerse themselves into that group. This they do so that they will feel part of the group and feel belonging. He further mentioned that being a member of a group, it's a very important thing to every human group. Some people form parts of a group, some people are members or participants of a group, and this helps them to go further in life. For example, some of us can attribute our successes in marriage, our successes in businesses, successes in even academia to some groups we belong to. Do you remember how beneficial that class year group has been to you? What about your other social groups, your church groups? Can you outline some of the benefits you have received from this group? Yes, I would want to hear from you. You can send me a comment and that would be perfectly fine. Now let's look at the theory of groupthink. Groupthink as a theory was introduced by Ivory Jones in the year 1972. According to this theorist, when individuals move into a group and there is the need for them to make decisions, they are influenced by the group and some of them succumb to the leadership of the group, or they are persuaded by their interests to still be a member of that group, and for that reason, their decision making is affected. Let's dive deeper into this. Just like when someone is having fever, COVID, or any other illnesses, we are able to say that this person is suffering from this because of the symptoms they exhibit. The same applies to people under the sway of groupthink. When someone is under the sway of groupthink, you can see it by the signs they exhibit. However, let me exercise this caution. You cannot just look at one symptom or the other and diagnose someone of being under the sway of groupthink. You would have to do your thorough check to be able to ascertain if that individual is suffering from groupthink or is under the sway of groupthink. Let's go through the symptoms. The first symptom someone is likely to exhibit if the person is under the sway of groupthink is invulnerability. Here, the person has a strong belief that the group he or she belongs to is a special one. And for that reason, nothing bad can happen to them. This is extreme because even if warning signs are so clear, these individuals are likely to ignore those warning signs. A typical example is the fire that killed the 3 astronauts in the year 1967. According to researchers, these astronauts saw clear indications that they could catch fire and die, but for some reason they believed they were a special group and nothing of that sort could happen to them. If these 3 astronauts were there individually and they were having their individual discussions or they are making individual judgments, probably they could have escaped this death. This is what researchers believe. The second symptom I want us to dive into is rationalization. Here with rationalization, individuals who are under the sway of groupthink would admit that yes, there is a danger sign, there is danger approaching, but then they would find reasons to justify why that danger cannot attack them or that danger cannot befall them. For instance, if a member of a group is under the sway of groupthink, it's likely he or she would believe that yes, this organization is not harnessed, or this organization is not harnessed with finances. However, even if we invest our finances with them, they are not going to dupe us because they cannot do that to us. So for some reason, they will try to justify why that evil cannot befall them as a group. The third symptom is stereotyping. Here, participants of a group who are under the sway of groupthink would be fast or quick enough to point fingers at other members of other groups, stating that they have bad leadership, they have poor decision making, they don't have what it takes to be a group, and their group is better off than that group. So they will do all these things, and at the end of the day, even if that group proves that they are worth it, or they even propose something to them that can help their group advance, they would not, or it's likely that they would not accept the proposal because they have it inbuilt that all other groups are inferior and their group is superior. The fourth I would want to pass you through is pressure. When people are under the sway of groupthink, they tend to pressure other members of their groups to make a decision that is in line to the decision the entire group has made. So for instance, if they are at a meeting and one individual or 2 individuals raise objection to something the group has agreed on, it's likely that individuals in that same group who are under the sway of groupthink would pressurize the others to accept the group decision. They would be saying things like, we are a group, we are doing this together, we are in this together, we've all agreed to do it this way. You don't have to object it. And this is how they would go so far to make sure that the other members succumb to the group's decision. The fifth one I would want to pass you through is mind guide. With mind guide, they would take it a bit further. They would want to manipulate individuals of their group to make them keep believing that their group is ideal, their group is perfect, their group is the best. So if it means that they would keep certain vital information from group members so that group members will not be able to take independent decision. They'll go to that extent to do it. If it means that they would have to keep those information so that group members will not have the chance to critically think about certain things, they will go to that extent to do it. They would guide the minds of group members to keep them believing that they are in a good group, they are in the right group. There is no other group better off than this group. So these are some of the symptoms you would see if someone is under the sway of groupthink. So I would want to chip in this quickly. As researchers, if you are carrying out focus group discussion and you realize that these things are at play, then probably there is groupthink and you should check it. How do you do it? How would you ensure when you are carrying out focus group discussion that your members are not under the sway of groupthink? Let me hear from you. Now, I would want us to carry out an activity. This activity would help us better understand what groupthink is and how groupthink plays in our day-to-day interactions. So I would show you this image and I'll ask the question, what do you see? I'm letting you have some time to reflect on it. What do you see? So it is evident that most of you are seeing this, the oval red shape, which is correct. I agree with you. But what about this wider shape over here? We have this wide, blank, white space. Can someone tell me if they are seeing that one too? This is what groupthink does. When you are under the sway of groupthink, you would see a portion of a whole. So instead of focusing on the greater part of the story or the greater portion of a whole, you rather focus your attention on the insignificant aspect of it. And that is where you would stand to make your generalization or to make your conclusion. So for instance, people who are under the sway of groupthink would be saying things like, that is how we do it here. We've been doing this for long. We've been doing it for ages. We've never changed our procedures. They'll be saying things like, we don't do things like this around here. Even if you tell them that, look, there is something wider here that we can focus attention to, they will tell you that this is what we know. This is how we've been doing it. And this is what we've been doing here for ages. Thank you very much, class. I really appreciate you spending time with me here. So these are my references. I'll be sharing them with you as well so that you will do further readings and check. It's a bye.